Hi, my name is Alex. I'm bisexual and gender fluid and from Riga.
I'm currently on a trip through the Baltics, and in Riga, Latvia, I met up with 19-year-old local Alex.
Hello, my name is Alex. I chose Alex as my nickname because it's the name I always felt connection to.
Alex is bisexual and gender fluid, and this is what gender fluid means to them.
Gender fluid for me is basically sometimes feeling more masculine, sometimes feeling more feminine, moving on the spectrum. I use any pronouns, but I'm most comfortable with they, them. I'm out as bisexual, and only for some friends I'm out as gender fluid.
Alex has chosen to share their coming out story today. So let's start from the very beginning.
My parents didn't raise me just strictly as a girl. Like, I could play with whatever I wanted, do whatever I wanted. In like 6th grade or 7th, I heard about what sexuality can be, like not only straight, but also gay, bisexual, asexual, from my friends. Before that, I never thought about it. I think I heard about it, but I never really noticed that. After I heard what bisexual is, asexual, I asked my friends to explain a little bit. They explained it only the top of the iceberg, I can say. And for like 10-15 minutes I thought, what if I'm not straight? Because I always thought about girls in a sexual way also, but only in dreams or fantasies and never in real life. And since I never heard of terms in LGBTQ+ community, I never thought it was not something usual. I always thought that everyone thinks the same, like about both genders, like that everyone likes everyone. Yeah, and it never came up with friends, so I didn't know for a long time.
None of the terms really stuck with them at that time, so 3 more years passed without them thinking too much about their gender identity or sexuality.
Then I met a very nice boy online, and I fell for him, and we've been friends for like a year or a half, and then he told me that he's a girl. Well, not like trans, but biologically girl. And for me, it didn't change anything. I still felt the same, and I didn't see any problem with that. Or like, for me, it wasn't like a deal breaker. Yeah, we've been in a relationship for a year. And during that year, I always told everyone that I have a boyfriend, and I used her nickname as his name. But one night I couldn't bear not telling anybody, and I came out to my mom as bisexual, and I told her about my girlfriend. I was crying hysterically because I was so afraid that she won't accept me and that I will ruin a relationship with her. But she said that it's okay. She hugged me. She didn't see anything like out of norm, like as if nothing changed, basically.
Unfortunately, it didn't go as well when their dad found out.
My dad found out through the pin, and with him it wasn't so nice. He wasn't pleased with the fact that I'm not straight, I think. The issue was he thought that I can't tell if I'm not straight or I am straight if I haven't had a relationship with all the genders. Like, if I try it with girls and I try it with boys, and then I can say that I'm bisexual. If I didn't, I can't. And it was really heartbreaking because my mom accepted me so easily. I thought it will be kind of the same, but since it wasn't on my terms that I came out to him, it was really hard.
And they had 3 close friends who they also told around this time, and they'll start talking about 2 of them.
I told them separately. At first I told one of them, and after some time I told another one. They were like, okay, yeah, now let's talk about something else. I expected like questions a little bit or something, a little bit more interest about it, because they're like very straight. And one of them is also, I will call it out, she's a little bit racist. So I expected from her like a lot of questions or even not accepting me or something like that, and she was like, okay, yeah, now let's talk about something me related, like moving on. Another one was like, okay, explain a little bit. I explained a little bit, and then move on.
And they reacted even worse when Alex told them about the gender identity.
I told them to try to use other pronouns on me, because I want to understand how I feel about it. Do I feel comfortable? Do I want to switch it back or try something else? And they were like, okay, and never use my pronouns which I wanted to try. Always used she and my real name, even though I asked them, try to call me Alex, because I want to know if I want to switch my name, change it, or if I don't. And they didn't respect it, like they just ignored it. I asked several times, and I even pointed out that they ignored it, but they still do it. And that's why I don't consider them as close friends as I used to.
Luckily, Alex had another close friend that reacted a lot better.
The third, my best friend, she's awesome. She always calls me Alex. She uses pronouns which I want her to use. When I came out to her, it was really nice, because I started to come out by pins. I bought pins and I put it all over my backpack. She saw them and she was like, can I ask you something about your pins? I was, yeah, sure. She asked me, why do I wear the pin? Because she knew what it represented, and she wanted to know just if I was comfortable. Can you tell me, like, why do you wear it? I told her, came out, and we just moved on from that, because we had dancing lesson. So it was kind of briefly. Yeah, after some time I developed a crush on her, and it was my first girl crush for a person that I know. And for a long time I couldn't tell her, because I didn't know if she's straight or she's not, because she's telling that she's straight, but she really acted like, I read it as if she could be queer. I told her once and she was like, I'm really sorry, but I don't feel the same. But if you wish to try, we could, because I don't know about myself yet. We never tried. It's just, now we're just friends, best friends. She moved to Russia for studies. Even though she's far away, I think she's the closest friend I ever had, which is really hard because I didn't want her to go. I thought that if she goes away, then I will be alone with no one to support me. And she's more than family, because I feel heard and I feel loved and I feel that I'm accepted when I'm with her. And she's the only person I can sit quietly with. We don't need to talk to feel connected. So it's really hard that she's so far away. And it's also hard to see how it's easy for her because she makes friends everywhere she goes. And I'm really happy for her because it's really hard to move to the city where you don't know anybody. But at the same time, I'm jealous because for me, making friends is really hard. And if I make friends, they're not friends, they're just acquaintances that will go away in a second. Luckily, I have a partner now, and it keeps my mind away from everything else.
I wish that everyone had a friend like that in their life. Recently, Alex has found a new way to make friends.
I went on Erasmus+, this year, and it was an awesome experience because it was about journalism. I met so many people. I think I've never met so many people. I talked to everyone there. I was afraid that I will just close up and keep to myself and only stick to one person I knew there with whom I arrived. It was so unexpectedly cool and awesome because I talked to everybody, I met a lot of people, and I found out that in English it's much easier for me to talk, to meet people. It's kind of as if when I speak in English, I'm not afraid.
They also has a tip for how to find new friends.
Go somewhere where people share your interests. It works, but it also takes effort, and sometimes you really need to step out of your comfort zone. Because for me, I opened up in this dance class when I heard that girls were talking about the TV series I was watching at the time. And I was sitting like for 5 minutes trying to find strength and confidence to speak up. And I was like, okay, if they're gonna hate me after that, I will just switch classes. I will just go to another studio. And I was like, I'm sorry, do you talk about this? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I'm watching that right now. And after that, it was much easier.
Alex wants to finish by sharing a few words with you.
One of my mottos is don't expect anything, because if you don't expect, you can't be disappointed. Even though many people can say that it's not really a good motto to live by, but if you had a lot of disappointments in your life and you think that nothing will be good and just you always expect the worst, it's better to not expect anything and not to think about it and just see where the life will lead you.